Family dinners at the Montgomery mansion were a masterclass in humiliation. But tonight, as we gathered to celebrate my brother James' promotion to CEO of Montgomery Industries, the usual torment took on a particularly sharp edge. James raised his crystal wine glass, a grin spreading across his face. "Can you believe little Olivia here actually thinks her startup is going to disrupt the industry?" He laughed, shaking his head, as if a tiny software company could compete with real businesses. I pushed my untouched filet mignon around the plate, the acquisition papers in my bag feeling heavier by the minute, the papers that would, by morning, make his real business mine. "Now, James," our older sister Margaret interjected, her voice dripping with fake sympathy, "don't be too hard on her. Not everyone can handle the pressure of running a big corporation. Some people are better suited to smaller ventures. I am Olivia Montgomery, or at least, that's who I am supposed to be, but in the eyes of my family, I'm Little Olivia, the disappointment, or our sister who thinks she's a tech mogul." 3 years ago, I walked away from a promising executive role at Montgomery Industries to start Horizon Technologies. My family still hasn't forgiven me for what they saw as a betrayal of our legacy. "Speaking of your little project," my father said, glancing at his expensive watch, clearly more interested in the time than in me, "how many employees do you have now?" 6. 273, I replied softly. James almost choked on his wine. 200? Come on, Olivia, you've got what, a handful of people working out of that shabby office park downtown? The shabby office park was just a front. Horizon Technologies actually operated out of 3 floors of a high-rise across town, hidden behind a shell company, but I wasn't about to reveal that. Not yet. "I saw your website the other day," Margaret added, scrolling through her phone, her voice condescending. "Still using that basic template? You really should hire a proper design team. I know some people who could help for a reasonable fee." My phone buzzed quietly in my pocket. A message from my CFO, "Final paperwork cleared, funds transferred, ready when you are." "Olivia's always been the dreamer," my mother said with a sigh, patting my hand as if I were a child. "Remember when she was little, always talking about changing the world with technology? Well, she certainly changed her world." James smirked. "From a corner office at Montgomery Industries to whatever storage closet she's calling her headquarters now." Laughter rippled around the table. I sipped my water slowly, aware that in exactly 17 minutes, the headlines would start hitting their phones. "I just worry about you, dear," my mother continued. "You had such a promising future with the family company, vice president of operations by 35, just like James. Now look at him, youngest CEO in Montgomery Industries history." James puffed out his chest. "The board's announcement goes public tonight. James Montgomery Jr. takes helm of family empire. Sounds good, doesn't it? If only they knew about the other announcements scheduled for tonight." "Did you at least bring in any revenue this quarter?" my father finally asked, finally looking at me. "Or are you still burning through your trust fund?" I thought about Horizon's latest quarterly report, $380 million in revenue, with profit margins that would make Montgomery Industries board members cry. But those numbers were locked behind non-disclosure agreements and private protections. "We're doing fine," I said simply. "Fine," James scoffed. "Montgomery Industries made $50 million last quarter. That's what real success looks like, little sister, not some tiny startup pretending to be a real business." My phone buzzed again. This time, it was my assistant. "Press release scheduled for 8:15 p.m. All major financial news outlets confirmed." I glanced at my watch. 12 minutes. "You know," Margaret said, reaching for the expensive Bordeaux, "there's still time for you to come back to the family business. I'm sure James could find you a position, something more suited to your skill set." "Thanks, but I'm happy where I am." "Happy?" James scoffed. "Running some tiny software shop while the rest of us operate in the real business world? Your company probably doesn't even make what I spend on lunch accounts." I couldn't help but smile slightly, recalling the board meeting where we'd analyzed Montgomery Industries' finances. The impressive numbers they boasted were their downfall: overextended, vulnerable, and ripe for the taking. "Speaking of business," my father said, turning to James, "have you heard the rumors about a tech company looking to acquire firms in our sector?" James waved him off. "Probably just market speculation. No tech company has the resources to acquire Montgomery Industries. We're too big, too established." My phone buzzed again. "My legal team, acquisition complete, ownership transferred. Congratulations on your new company." 8 minutes. "I just don't understand," My mother said, patting my hand in that condescending way she always did. Why insist on this startup fantasy when you could be part of something real, something significant? Your little tech experiment is pathetic, James said, raising his glass. A real Montgomery builds on the family legacy, not whatever this is. I checked my watch again. 5 minutes until their phones lit up with the news that their precious family legacy had just been acquired by my pathetic startup. More wine, little sister, James mocked. Or is that too expensive for a startup founder's budget? 4 minutes. You know what's really pathetic? Margaret added, her voice dripping with disdain. Pretending your tiny company matters in the real business world. It's embarrassing, honestly. 3 minutes. My father lifted his glass. To James Montgomery Jr., new CEO of Montgomery Industries. Now, this is what real success looks like. 2 minutes. I picked up my water glass, silently watching them toast to their imagined superiority. In exactly 120 seconds, their worlds would come crashing down, and I'd be sitting right here at their celebratory dinner, watching it unfold. The first phone buzzed at exactly 8:15 p.m., then another, and another. Around the table, screens lit up with breaking news notifications, cutting through their smug chatter. James reached for his phone first, his face drained of color as he read the headline. Breaking, Horizon Technologies acquires Montgomery Industries in surprise $2.8 billion takeover. What? He whispered, his wine glass frozen in midair. This has to be a mistake, Margaret said, grabbing her phone with shaking hands. No, 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 this isn't possible. More headlines flashed on their screens. Tech startup Horizon Technologies makes power move in industry-shaking acquisition. Montgomery Industries sold to rising tech giant in unexpected deal. Olivia Montgomery, from pathetic startup to industry titan. My father's phone clattered to the table. Olivia, he whispered, barely audible, what have you done? I took another sip of water, savoring the shock and confusion that spread across their faces. Oh, did the announcement go out? Perfect timing. James shot to his feet so quickly that his chair crashed to the ground. You're pathetic little startup. You're behind this? Horizon Technologies isn't so pathetic after all, is it? I opened my laptop, turning it toward them and showing the acquisition documents. By the way, James, congratulations on becoming CEO. For exactly, I glanced at my watch, 43 minutes, that might be a record. This is a joke, Margaret gasped, but her voice trembled. Your tiny company couldn't possibly have the resources to. $380 million in quarterly revenue. I cut her off, 85% profit margins, over $4 billion in liquid assets. Would you like to see the numbers? I have them right here. My mother clutched her pearls, her voice wavering. But, your shabby office downtown. A front, I said calmly. Our real headquarters take up 3 floors of the Morgan building. You know, the glass tower you've always admired. I bought it last year. My father's face had turned an alarming shade of red. You can't do this. We're family. The board would never. The board already did. I interrupted, pulling out more documents. They voted unanimously this morning. They were impressed with Horizon's technology, and concerned about Montgomery Industries' declining market share. James lunged for my laptop. Show me those documents. Careful, brother dear, I said calmly. Assaulting a CEO could have serious consequences. Speaking of which, I turned to my phone. Sarah, please implement Protocol Alpha. What's Protocol Alpha? Margaret demanded, as if expecting an answer. Their phones buzzed again, this time with emails from Montgomery Industries' HR department. Effective immediately, all executive positions are under review. Please clear your offices by noon tomorrow. You're firing us? James' voice cracked. From our own company? Not your company anymore, I corrected him. And yes, all C-suite positions are being eliminated. Horizon's management team will be handling the restructuring. Mother, Margaret turned toward our shell-shocked parents. Do something. My mother's face crumpled. Olivia, please, we can talk about this. Come back to the family. Family? I laughed softly. Like how you welcomed me at family dinners, mocked my company, called my success pathetic. I stood up, smoothing my dress, the same one Margaret had earlier deemed suitable for a small business owner. The press conference is scheduled for tomorrow morning. I'll be announcing Horizon's restructuring plans for Montgomery Industries. You're welcome to watch the live stream, assuming you can afford the internet after today. This is revenge, James spat, Plain and simple revenge. No, brother dear, this is business, real business, the kind you thought I couldn't handle. I picked up my laptop bag. By the way, that corner office you're so proud of, I'll be using it as a storage room. My father finally found his voice. You've destroyed this family. No, father, I built something bigger than this family, something real, something significant. I quoted his earlier words back to him. Isn't that what you always wanted? More phones buzzed. Financial news alerts showing Montgomery Industries stock soaring on news of the acquisition. My acquisition. One more thing. I paused at the dining room door. That shabby office park you all laughed at, I bought that too, might use it for junior employee parking. The chaos behind me was spectacular. James was frantically calling his lawyers. Margaret was crying into her wine glass. My mother had collapsed into her chair, pearls clutched so tightly they might snap. My phone buzzed one last time. A message from my assistant. Cars ready out front. Miss Montgomery, would you like me to send a cleaning crew for your new corner office? I looked back at my family's shattered celebration. At James' CEO announcement, speech cards scattered across the table. At Margaret's phone still buzzing with headlines about her little sister's triumph. No need for cleaning yet, I replied. Let them pack up their own pathetic legacy. Outside, my driver held the door to my Bentley, the one I'd parked between James's Ferrari and Margaret's Mercedes, the same car they'd probably assumed I couldn't afford. Where to, Miss Montgomery? I smiled, thinking of the empty corner office waiting for me, the one James had been so proud of just an hour ago. Take me to my new company, I said, the real one. As we pulled away, I could see them through the dining room window, the mighty Montgomery family, brought down by the pathetic startup they'd never taken seriously. Tomorrow, they'd wake up to find their kingdom gone, their titles stripped, their legacy now just a subsidiary of Horizon Technologies. Sometimes, success isn't about proving others wrong. Sometimes, it's about letting them mock you, right up until the moment their phones buzz with the news that changes everything. And sometimes, the sweetest victory is served at a family dinner, right between the filet mignon and their shattered dreams. My phone buzzed one final time. An email from James. We can fix this, come back to the family, please. I deleted it without reading further. They'd never understood that I hadn't left the family business. I just built a better one,